So I'm just recording on the fly now. Anybody who's been watching the past few videos realize this series is not a guide anymore, it's more of a blog. I do want to finish off this whole Slender thing and start doing other things, but I don't know how to do it while people are still having problems and leaving them out there. Now, it always has been my policy not to give away the scripts. Hopefully the whole video series has been about learning to program so that people can learn and do this stuff for themselves rather than just copy it, but make their own code. That's all I want. I just want people to just do whatever they want to do with their imaginations and be able to write out the code. That's all I want. But okay, so for now, this whole Slender thing. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm still thinking about it. But I'd like to do something like a project scene and put it on the asset store. But I'd have to completely check out the rights for using the trees and the ground textures and even the models and things like that. These papers aren't mine, so they'd have to remain blank. And even things like using the Unity character controller. Like, am I allowed to put something up on the asset store, for free with donation? I was thinking about making it paid, but it's not really fair. So I wanted to go the shareware model. It's kind of like, it's free for non-exclusive use. But if you wanted to make a donation, I'd be more than grateful. But yeah, if anybody's had any kind of experience with the asset store and knows if I can put Unity assets into a free but donatable package on the asset store, then let me know. Otherwise, the only thing I can think of is just zipping up the 3 scripts and putting them on my website with a counter, because I want to see how many people are grabbing it this time. I don't know how many people grabbed the original packages, but it was lots. Alright, so let's open up all these scripts. What I'm going to do with all the scripts first, I'm just going to save them as a text file, so there's a backup from where we are from that last build. So it's Slender. Well, this is 2.4, I guess. And I'm just making all these text files. So I've got a backup of all these scripts, because what I'm going to do is just finally go through and remove all this stuff, like all these comments and that. So I've got a final thing. Now what I'm going to be doing is exporting these scripts. I'm going to be exporting just a couple of the assets like I used for. I'm going to grab the old terrain and the old buildings and that. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to do a speed build of this whole project using these scripts right here. So I'm just going to give them a final edit right now, and as much as I hate doing them, this is probably going to be a script review video too. So they've all been saved as text documents down the bottom. Okay, so let's go through each script one more time, delete all the comments and silly things. I'm not going to be making any edits or any major edits, anything like that. I'm just going to be removing comments and amending that script. And finally, making sure all the variables that have been typed in the inspector are the same as what's on the script. That's all that's going on here. So, start with the player. See, collect papers and player health. Alright, collect papers. I'll just clean up this real quick. I'll leave everything public. I'm not even going to worry about that. Warns you, doesn't bother looking for it. Okay. It's the music clips. Look, I'm already doing typing. This wasn't going to be about typing, it was going to be about deleting comments. Okay. Music clips. I'm going to check what's in this array. Okay, music clips dot length is less than. We're asking for 4 clips here, from 0 to 2 papers, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. So we're asking for 4. So if there's anything less than a length of 4, this is going to break. So let's just give this another debug one. Need 4 music tracks in the inspector. There mistakes in the inspector. Okay, so checking. Got the debugs there. Let's just literally leave those in. Like that. Get rid of the debug at the bottom. Sure, nobody wants that. And that is the collect paper script. Okay, so go review. That's normal. That's 2 times bigger. Okay, done. That's the collect papers updated. Player health. I didn't look at the variables, did I? But make sure it compiles too. Okay. Variables. Player. So papers. 0.8, 5.5 follow distance, 1 for the radius of the sphere cast. Music clips has to be 4, we set that up. Okay, that is that paper's done. Next one, player health. Health private. These are all over the place. Health, and the health decay rate, and the starting health and decay modifier. And we need the public. Okay, it tells us if there's a static object or not. It finds it, okay, so it finds it. All set up. And then you update this condition. Get to the debug, and that script is pretty much going to remain untouched. 5. Okay, so player health. Okay, so that's the player health up. Now, this menu mouse look. There's no variables, I just want to clean up all the comments. That's out of there. That zeroes everything out. Pardon me, that's saved. And all that's got to go. I think everything else is good. That works to a degree. Okay, so the mouse look script. View. Right. Okay. Now, the big one, the MPC movement script. It's the enemy. Let's check all the variables. The public is declared and inspector first. Okay, the target. Should we find that? Play health script. Speed turn speed 6 and 2. Desired velocity. There was a fix in here. From there, that's already in. Desired velocity. No, there's no input. It's desired velocity 0. That should be fine. It's grounded. False. Ray distance 5. State starts at 5. Check that. Minimum range, maximum range. I've already set to 35 on both of them. MPC chasing, that's irrelevant when it's slender. And so all the free roam timer absolutely does nothing when the enemy is slender. Is slender, boolean is true. This was false off-screen dot range. Cruise speed amount. I got added in at the last thing. I don't even know if that's any. That should be something much lower, actually. Alright, reduce distance. Teleporting. People, here is where you have to be slender and then you invoke repeating teleporting. Make sure you got some decent numbers. So this one after a minute and every 20 seconds after that we'll start teleporting. And that's a kind of example. Method 3 didn't work. I've got some new ideas for teleporting. Method 2 teleports him directly to the left or directly to the right. Now, teleport enemy, check if visible. We could make this ignore this whole portion, because some people are just wanting it to teleport all the time. I can see a good reason why. You just want it to teleport every 20 seconds, then let it teleport every 20 seconds. So if you want to do that, comment out those 4 lines. Now it doesn't matter how close he is. Maximum, yeah, no, that's the part that checks how close he is. Alright, so I'm already making mistakes. Okay, so we're not going to change anything, I'm just optimizing. Alright, so let's forget that. Everything's uncommented, alright? Okay, it's just a function. Okay, that was for. Okay. Directly. Player. And the second example. Looking towards player, but upright. People were saying he was having a bit of a slant, a bit of a lean to. So yeah, let's just put that comment there. Put this comment. Put it there. There. Okay, so there's that. And there's that. Only use the gravity velocity. That was completely wrong. Because my directional vector was looking forward, and that was the issue with using look out there, it wasn't looking forward. So that's the error. Moving, that was way back when. Rotation. Okay, look, that's the old example of how we did rotation before it got fed. So that line is what's up at the top. I'm going to leave that in there. That was notes. That was an old movement example. I'm going to get rid of that. That's just adding confusion. I'm getting rid of the add force. I don't go anywhere near add force. And get rid of my debug. So save that. All the numbers seem right. Just go to the start. Thinking about the player transform, checking if there's one in the inspector. Object only windows. Player help. It's only if it's Slender it uses player health script, so that's alright there, but it's the player itself. Okay, so it does check it all for a Slender looks that way, and it starts at 1 visible, but then square distance, and then it starts its own. Okay, so I'll come away from idle, but I need to initialize idle. Okay, so that's the scripts. Let's do a review. Then I'll zip everything up like I said at the start. And this will be the scripts I use. That never got used either. So now that is the script. 3, 4, 5, down the calculator. Do go over here. There we go. That's pretty much it anyway. Yep. Okay, I'll stop moving now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's all 4 scripts that I'm going to be using in the complete build. And I'm going to do what I said right now. Set them right up. So we have NPC movement. That, I can't say those 2 words together. And player help. Okay, those 4 scripts right now getting exported. Okay, so this is Slender 2.5 scripts. That is it. That is the scripts that I'm going to be using, and these are the scripts that will be going up whenever I decide, or where I decide I'm going to put them up. Okay, done and done. Now, I'm not going to save this part, but I'm just going to go through and grab some assets, mainly things like the textures. I'll take all my menu things. I'll bring the flashlight. That was a question someone asked. That one wasn't working. But yeah, the static, I'm just going to go through and grab all the assets that I'm going to need for this brand new build in a brand new blank project, just using those scripts that we just reviewed. Okay.